people, and happy National Doll Day. We're going to take a break from the previous project that I was working on where I show you my dolls through categories. I'm going to show you some pieces that I've made, either knit or crochet. While I button this sweater dress, I guess I should go ahead and give you guys like a disclaimer. Not all of these pieces are finished. You know, many of them are, because when I, fall in love with a piece and I want to finish it, I'll go ahead and finish it. But a lot of times, especially when I'm stressed out, I'll make something and I'll make it just enough where it's like basically finished. I just need to put fastenings on it. Never put the fastenings on it until like later. I don't know why I do that. So this is like a little sweater dress that I created out of a yarn that was given to me by a fellow doll fan. And honestly, I know it's wool because it's got like that whole wool-like feeling. I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it's wool. It just feels like wool. And I loved this pattern so much that I kind of made other versions of it and like different iterations, and I changed things. This is probably one of my favorites, honestly. It's like a little crop top. It's like a little crop top moment. It's not like, it is a crop top moment. It's a little crop top moment. I loved this so much, and I also loved this yarn so much that I actually went on and kind of created, it looks square, but when it's on a doll, I swear it's not square. This is knit. All these are knit, as a matter of fact. I'm so scatterbrained today. I decided I wasn't going to even bother with increasing and decreasing. Like, I just cast it on a bunch of stitches, and I was like, I'm gonna make something, and it's gonna fit on a damn doll, okay? And that's what I did. So it's like a little square, but because the magic of knitting, it kind of like, it's kind of bodycon when you put it on the doll, so it gives it shape and everything. But that was really fun. Same yarn. It's being washed out. It's kind of like a minty color. After making this, and I remember making this a couple nights before I had made a video, and I also told myself, well, since this was super simple, I was going to publish the pattern, and I still am. I've written up the pattern. I've not had it tested. Yeah, this is something that was supposed to come to the channel before I moved from New York. So created this, and then I also created a bunch more like this. And then after I created this pattern, inspired by this one, another pattern I created, I shrunk it down again. That's something that I seem to do. I seem to like play with the scale. It's like a baby yellow. You know how people say baby pink, and it's really just like this really soft bubblegum pink. Same thing, but yellow. And it's the same thing. I'm gonna unbuckle it again. See, it's just like a rectangle. Granted, I was like, my tension, I modified my tension when I did the ribbing at the top, so it kind of goes in a little bit more, but it's the same thing. I didn't increase or decrease or anything like that. I just casted on some stitches and told myself it'll fit. The last few pieces seem super lazy, but I swear I do increase and decrease in some projects, and this is one of them. It's like a little sweater vest situation moment. This romper moment, I was super conflicted on the 4th of July a few years back. Like, some horrible stuff had happened in our country, and then the holiday happened soon after, and I was just kind of feeling a little down, like a little conflicted, like I didn't know how I was supposed to celebrate the day when such terrible stuff had happened. So this was how I celebrated that day. I didn't do the whole food and barbecue and fanfare and fireworks. I didn't do any of that. I stayed home, did some self-care, and I crocheted this romper. At the time, I hated this romper. Honest to God, I hated it. And I think it was because I didn't want those feelings that I was feeling to sit with me. So I put them into something. And that's how, like while I was making this, I was thinking about all the stuff that we need to work on in the United States of America. And the red, white, and blue romper happened. I even put like this really cute, probably can't make it out. This is like a little sticker from like old Pleasant Company American Girl. And it says red, white, and blue on the sticker. And I put that on there and added some buttons, you know. So this piece is just kind of sitting until I put it on her, and now she doesn't want to take it off. So yeah, yeah. I wonder, do any of you guys have like super conflicting feelings about stuff, so then you just like throw all of that into some sort of creative project? It does help get rid of the feelings, but sometimes what you create with those feelings, you will look at it and always hate it. Or maybe not hate it, but you'll always remember the feelings that you had when you made it. It worked on a custom, and she turned out so nice that I had to make her something because I didn't have anything in my collection that was like, nothing fit her. She wanted a very specific dress, and I was like, oh well, I'll just make it. And that was this dress, not the doll, but this dress. Really cute dress. It's like this mesh situation that I created. I love it. I love it. I really do love this doll too. She's adorable. Like, as you guys have seen already in the video, she's been modeling the pieces I've been showing. I love this doll. She's one of my favorites from the extra line. I have 2 of them now, and I actually think I might repaint her, and then paint the other one, and then have a set of twins. I don't know yet because I'm still pretty like attached to this face up. It's definitely not my best, but I love it. This monstrosity. It's really not a monstrosity. It's actually just, it's adorable to me. I think it's really cute. I actually initially made this, I guess I could call it a sleeveless hoodie. Yeah, sleeveless hoodie. I made this for a Lika Chan doll. I got a Lika Chan doll from a doll show just before I moved away from New York, and I made her this thing with like leftover parts from a previous project that I'd already worked on. And I really like how this has turned out, but this is one of those pieces where I was supposed to put, oh no, it's connected to the Velcro. No, 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 no. See, I'm always so scared of that, but then it never stops me from doing this. But I haven't closed it. Like, I haven't put closures on it just yet. I will at some point. This is, ooh, what doll are you? I cannot remember what doll you are, honey. But I do know that she's one of my, like, PVC, Korean, Japanese, some of them are Chinese artist dolls, that I've been obsessed with ever since I, like, found out about Olala. I'll just, like, put it down here somewhere so you guys know who she is. But I made this little romper, and the whole point was for it to look chunky and cute, and like I wanted to look like that even though it was like short sleeved and not pants, it would still look cozy, so she could like go out in the snow, or at least still be warm on a cool day. And of course, you know, I had to make some crazy hat to go with it. It's very pink and purple and just filled with joy and pom-poms. You guys know I love pom-poms. Like, at this point, if you haven't gathered, I need 8 million pom-poms on a single garment. Then do you really know me yet? This really is me. You know? Love it. Love this. And I actually made a lot of these rompers. A lot of them. I didn't bead all of them, but I made at least 6 of these in that week because I was just so obsessed with how this one turned out. There's somewhere in here as like works in progress that like I haven't finished, but that's the beauty of it. You get most of the work done, and then on like an odd day where you feel like beading or maybe you feel like embroidery work, you just pick it up go edit. And I mean, I definitely do that. Definitely. You guys know this little cutie. This little cutie. This is a romper that I made years ago. Like, the doll that I made this for isn't even in my collection anymore. They were in my collection for a long time, and I called them the new kid forever. And then they finally told me their name was Dumpling. And then after I kind of figured out who they were, they wanted to leave. So they're gone. But this romper stayed, and I hadn't put it on any other doll because I guess I hadn't thought about it for a while there. I think he wears it so nicely. Like, it's so cute on him. I guess up until him, no other doll really wanted to play around in it. I think he looks so good in it. He kind of looks like a little girl, but that's okay. That's okay. We know who he is. This tiny man right here, this is Shirichi. He's so cute. I knit this super tiny vest. I haven't finished it. I need to put buttons on the back of it, and I will. I promise I will. But yeah, I had to make him something really cozy because he doesn't get clothes often. Oftentimes, I kind of like jam him into. I kind of put him into pieces that I made for tiny dolls, like, you know, the BJD size. They're called tinies. I've made stuff for them, and oftentimes he just kind of shares those things. So this was one of the things that I made, and I decided to just give it to him because I actually made this piece and intended for it to be put on one of my small little Coraline dolls. I've got several at this point, but Coraline, I never really changed her out of stuff. And I've seen people knit the most adorable little sweaters for Coraline. And I always wanted to do it. And this was supposed to be that. But then I was like, you know who never gets nothing? Him. At least Coraline, like, has like a wardrobe from all the Coraline dolls I've purchased over the years. But he never gets anything. So he got this. And he's so cute. He's adorable. Why does it look like there's a hole in this? Oh, it's lint. It's lint. Okay. Ooh, God, I got so scared there for a second. It's lint. So, this little man, he's so sweet. He's actually a vintage head. Like, his head is a vintage doll. I believe his name is Alan. No, not Alan. Was it Alan? He came in a gift set with one of the Playmates Billy dolls that I've collected. And it's a super rare, like, gift set. I've only ever seen two for sale, and I purchased one. But his head is so sweet, and I put him on extra PVC body that I had from many of my my artist dolls, the PVC artist dolls that I collect. I had this body left over from hybriding the head that came with it on another body, and I had this one left over, and of course, it's so cute. Like, the proportions are just so darling, you know. And I felt like his head deserved kind of like a better body, because the vintage dolls, I love vintage dolls, but one of the things that I think is really interesting is that all of the PVC artist dolls have honestly been inspired by old vintage dolls. Like, the way in which they're sculpted is very reminiscent of the vintage doll. So this body it definitely feels vintage. It's very retro. So I popped his head on, and it's perfect. It just kind of elevates his quality. He feels like more of a collector doll than a doll that you were supposed to find at, like, the convenience store. You know, his body is hollow, but this one is real nice. Anyway, I'm sorry. I had to rave about him a little bit. He's kind of a big deal to me. I love him so much. But I made the hat and this piece, actually separate but made from the same variegated yarn. Made the hat before I moved out here, And then I made this sweater, I think like the first couple months I was out here. This sweater is actually the first iteration of a completed pattern that I did for Smart Doll. Um, so yeah, let me show you that. This is so cute. It's so squishy and the yarn feels so good. Same pattern. It's just been blown up for Smart Doll. It fits a bit better because honestly this yarn I used a much bigger hook so that it had a bit of drape, and then like when I got down to the ribbing, that's when I used the correct hook size I'm supposed to use. It's being washed out so bad. But yeah, tiny, big, and then while I was making this, I think I've talked about this yarn a couple times now since I've come back and started making videos again. I am obsessed with this yarn. I really am. Another piece that I made out of this same yarn was this sweater. It's kind of like, initially I thought dress. You know what I mean? Like you can clearly see, like at some point I thought dress because you see the shape of everything. But after getting to about, I want to say here on the dress, I was like, no, I think I'm going to make it a sweater. I decided to turn it into a sweater, which is why I added this ribbing in another variegated yarn. And then I continued that same motif on the sleeves and the neck. I thought it was really fun. Like I was watching all this anime recently, which is really just my life. I watch anime all the time. But I was watching, what was I watching? I think I was watching Kikiguri. Kikiguri? Am I saying that right? I'm probably not saying that right. But it's an anime where the whole way you get through school is with gambling, or that's what I think that's happening in that anime. I could be wrong. But anyway, one of the mediators, or like the referee of a gambling match, they are these adorable little cute girls. Or they're kind of sadistic in the show, but if you watch anime enough, you know, cute small girl, sadistic. They're probably like a villain. Anyway, adorable girls. They're supposed to be mediators, and they had on these big oversized hoodies, and the hoodies kind of like had, I think the hoodies had a break in the fabric where you could see through it, and if they didn't, I seen the motif that was similar, and then my brain connected it to Kikiguri. Anyway, this was kind of what was going through my head when I decided I'm gonna do sleeves and I'm gonna connect them, but I want the shoulders to be out. And then I did like this really fun swirl situation. Like you can't really see that, but you see that? That's intentional, and it's on both of the arms. I love this. And I think my favorite thing about this piece is actually the yarn. Like it's the same yarn. I'm obsessed with it. I really am. Another piece that was inspired by this piece was this sweater dress. I actually made, before I show it to you, context. I made a bunch of sweaters because I was playing around with this pattern and I wanted to put sleeves on this pattern, and I wanted it to be chunkier, cozier. I wanted the bodice to still be this because it's kind of midriff on the Smart Doll body. I still wanted it to be this, but I wanted those sleeves to kind of be like oversized, even like too long, you know. So I ended up making a bunch of those, and I'll insert some photos. But then after making a bunch of those, I decided I'd make them again, but then elongate it to make it a dress. Yeah. Love this. I also made this out of a variegated yarn that I found at Walmart. It's actually, I think it's baby brunette, and I can't remember the colorway, but I do know that it's a baby yarn. And when I seen it in the store, that's what inspired this. Like, I didn't have any plans or anything like that, but I seen it in the store and I thought, oh my god, how cute would this be as one of those colorful sweaters that I've been making. And then when I got home and started making it, I was like, I'm gonna make it long, because it was just a ton of the yarn in there. Like, it's a baby yarn, but it's considered to be a 3 weight. So there's lots more yardage. So I was like, yeah, I can make it really long and still get the sleeves and everything out of the one skein. So after I made this, I still had a bunch of yarn left over, and I ended up just like making hats. Not even finna go through all the hats. Just not. Just, it's too many. You can't make me. I'm kind of obsessed with massive pom-poms on really small dolls. It's doing something for me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah, 100% into that. I just think it's so adorable. I just do. All right, so we're gonna leave it here. This week's favorite comment is, and thank you guys for following me on this crazy journey. I'm still going to go ahead and finish the second part of that video and get it to you guys so that you guys can see the rest of the categories of my collection. And until the next one, bye. She's so cute. I need to take more pictures of this though.